This is a fun little topic. I don't get to talk about it much. It usually comes up on an intermediate time in a man's male action plan. Generally, by the time he makes it to my doorstep, he's in a failing marriage, dead bedroom, wife doesn't respect him, all that kind of stuff. And so naturally you give a guy dread. If you guys don't know, dread is a female branch swing, but for male sensibilities. In other words, you're getting yourself ready to move on to another relationship with as minimum lag time as you can get. So this, and I'm not joking here, this is not your mom's fried chicken recipe. It's not your grandma's fried chicken recipe. It's not Popeye's fried chicken recipe. It's not KFC's fried chicken recipe. You're seeing the pictures. The point here is you're not going to make some nice, crispy, brown, southern-style, buttered-up fried chicken. This is the fried chicken for the guy who needs calories. The whole point of eating this, and you're never going to eat it fresh. You're going to make these in giant batches. They're going to be a sale for 99 cents a kilogram. Chicken legs. And you want to prepare as much as you can, so during the week you can just grab an 80-calorie protein bar and eat them. So these are designed to be something you're going to eat cold out of the fridge. Everything we do on there is designed for maximum flavor and minimum work. I was going to show a lot of the steps, but it's a bit of a process. All you do is you put them in a brine, and you do this overnight. So a cup of salt, a cup of sugar, a whole bunch of vinegar, stronger the better. Put them in a giant bowl, fill the rest of it up with water, leave them there overnight. Don't pull them out until the chicken starts to turn white. That's when you know it's absorbed a lot of this flavor. And when you eat these, honestly, just like that is all the flavor they need. So we're not even going to fiddle too much. A little bit of flour, corn flour, maseca is even better here because we don't really want a crust. What we don't want is to have the chicken skin cook all weird. So it's going to brown a little bit, keep a lot of the moisture inside. And maseca is good because it absorbs more liquid than wheat flour would do. I can't remember which one I used here, but you can use either or. Add a little bit of salt, not much. You can add cayenne or cumin, but really at this point, you don't really have to add anything. These things are flavorful enough on their own that you can eat those without getting sick of them. And in my case, you can use an egg wash, or you can just take the drip it dry as best you can and use that. Either way works. We're going to preheat the oven as hot as you can get it. On my case, I'm using a roast, which is like a broiling with convection fan. 475. I think I might be able to push it up to as high as 500. Put them in there. There's no set amount of time. Just keep an eye on them, and then once you see the legs have gotten this nice crispy black, you know they're ready. So, pull them out, put them in a container, throw them in the fridge, have one or two fresh if you want to, they're actually pretty good, and enjoy. What a lot of guys do is they go through it, and the first steps are easy enough, start dressing better, get in good shape, learn to value your time, so if somebody's not giving you value, you just don't be there. You learn to enforce boundaries. You learn to be charming, flirtatious. And then you kind of give the wife a heads up. It's like, look, I'm going to get my needs met. It can be you or it can be elsewhere. Proud sponsor of Respecting Women since 2016. Be with her with Tactical Soap. And what a lot of guys find out is girls are like anybody. Once you start to become worth a damn, they start to care. And this is where you get the two types of guys. The first type of guy, he realizes, okay, I see what the problem was. It's just I wasn't being attractive. Now that I'm attractive, she responds well. And if, usually in the case where the wife hasn't hurt the guy's dignity too bad, things patch up, they move on, happy-go-lucky, hurrah, hurrah. A lot of times what happens, though, is the guy starts pulling away, starts making himself valuable. The girl starts responding positively, not because he's trying to manipulate her, but because She sees an attractive man who's playing hard to get, and she loves the chase. And he starts getting what he wants. A girl who shows some value and respect, she's basically invested in the relationship at the same extent he is, or more in this case, probably 1/3 more. And then he sees things going well, and he instantly reverts back to the old way of doing things. He thinks he's rewarding his girl behavior by acting more codependent, more needy, more helpless, and then the whole thing goes back again. And you end up in this weird cycle of ups and downs. It's kind of like push and pull, except for it's not attractive. It's not about building attraction. It's about losing attraction and building it up again. It's a very frustrating experience, and a lot of guys have a hard time getting through it. So I'm putting this video together, cooking up some fried chicken, and we're going to talk about why you're doing that. I mean, there's only one reason why you're doing that. It's because you still think this is a weekend seminar, or you're doing some little tricks to get her to like you, but you're still going to be the same person because it's who you are inside that counts, not what you do. Get that thought outside of your head. Chances are, if you're in a marriage and you're unattractive enough that your wife has physically repulsed by you, who you are right now is not good enough. It's not good enough for her. It's not good for anybody else. But you can't make yourself a better person for her. Because the only thing girls dislike more than an unattractive man is a man who's doing things for her. I can't explain it, but they just need to know they're not the center of your world. People and girls especially hate that kind of responsibility. So if you're watching this and you were noticing this, if you have one of those male action plans where you start to pull away, you start to build your dread, you get worth a damn, basically. And then your wife starts responding well, and you start to reward her because, she's been acting good, so why wouldn't you act good back? And then you see things are going backwards. Well, that's why, and that's what you're doing. So what I can suggest to you is you need to internalize that those same behaviors you thought was punishment or treating her bad, those are the kind of things that she found attractive. And you need to start learning that these attractive behaviors are the good behaviors. They are the reward, even if you don't think they are. Now, I can't explain why for a lot of these things, why they work the way they work. Rollo's got great stuff on that, where he brings up the evolutionary psychology branches of it, what cavemen and cavewomen did. I just know when something's working, continue doing it. If it's not working, I change it up, and then I don't revert back. So, if you take nothing else from this video, take that. When you start making changes to improve your life, and when other people start responding positively to them, don't think you can go back because you want to reward them for treating you better. The reality is, you making yourself a better person, you making yourself more aloof, more attractive, more absent, or whatever term you want to throw onto it, that is the reward. You not continuing to pull away is all that they need. The rule of the game, be attractive, don't be unattractive. And never forget, the way you used to be when things were bad was unattractive. A lot of what we discuss isn't socially acceptable. In this age of social media, you have to be careful. Luckily, we have a tight group of men in our Patreon, and we take off the filters so that we can speak frankly with each other, swap notes, and improve in the ways that matter to us. Check out the link in the description. For a couple bucks a month, you can have exclusive access to this stuff in its raw form and more. Plus, those awesome guys are the only reason we can keep putting out these videos. I'll sum it up here for the cheat sheets. When you start with a failing relationship and you look to red pilling yourself, first thing you start to do is make yourself worth a damn. You start looking better, you start dressing better, you start acting better. You start pulling your attention, your commitment, and your affection away unless people are showing more value in return. It's not about making other people do things. It's about having your own dignity and your own self-respect. Most of all, once you realize people do start acting better around you, because it's amazing how hard people will fight for a relationship with a good, solid man on their side. Once that happens, you can't go back to the way you used to be, because the way you used to be sucked. Keep that in mind when you're moving forward. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel awkward. I've had at least a dozen guys tell me that it feels fake. Just give it time. things always feel fake until you do them enough that they feel natural. And you'll look back a year from now and you're going to laugh at the way you used to think about these things. So don't sweat it. Anyways, guys, take care.